Hello everyone and welcome back. We are here for upgrades. I worked on worked more on the human model. Right now it looks more like a mask. And at the end I'm at somewhat of a face. So my idea to actually work out the back of the head, as you can see, it actually worked as intended. I extruded the backside and then welded the point to the middle and curved the rest or translated the rest so I could have the round shape here. Lastly, I'm sorry, I'm relatively tired. Lastly, I welded or bridged the inevitable gap, and then I tried to just get the overall shape of the head right. I split up the lips so they're actually not connected, and there's two of them, upper and lower lip, so I can later on make the inside of the mouth. Other than that, I fixed a bit of the overall shape. Eyes were a bit too big. They're still a bit too big, but I will fix that one later. Also, you can see that the overall head shape is not really there yet. Like it looks too oval. The human head is much more like it had much more of a bulb in the back. And mine is just not completely there yet. So I still have to do some fixing to do even after this video. So yeah. Next I tried the ears. This was the first attempt on doing the ears, which I later on deleted, so there's a bit of a jump in the video. Basically did tried this before I went to work, and then after work I went home and I had a good idea of what I needed to change. So right now the ears look really weird and off because they are too far away from the actual head. Like the front of the ear is actually it grows out of the head. It's not like detached from the head like what I'm working out here. So this is the issue that I was facing at the time. I tried for about 30 minutes to actually make some progress on the ear, but I just couldn't get where I wanted to go with this. So after I came home from work, I decided I'm going to scrap this, remove the whole ear part, as you can see, and then first off I cleaned up the whole area and welded everything back so it looks more normal. And then I went with the extrusion tool again to just form the outer ear, like the I don't know what the English word is. I just know the German word was shell, like the seashell, but it's in English it's definitely not that. Yeah, I was playing around with the shape a lot, and it is very hard, or it was very hard to actually get the shape of the ear because it is way more complex than it looks. The shape overall is way more difficult to comprehend in 3D, but I kind of managed to get it to the point where it actually looks like an ear. It has enough detail, but it's not too finicky. Yeah, with the eye, I ran into a few new problems because I noticed that the eyes are not the right shape, not the right size, or not the right angle as well. So yeah, I had to just fix this up. The eyes are a bit more complex. They're just not just simply round, but I try to work the eyeball a bit more in detail, and then I wanted to give more detail to the whole face. And in this case, I thought it looks too blank, it looks too detailless. So what I went for was to make the um, eyelashes and the brows. I started with the brows, and my first attempt was to work something out with extrusions, give it a really simple shape from the extrusions, and see how this works. Took quite some time to make, and to be honest, in the end, it definitely wasn't worth it. It definitely was not worth it. It looked terrible, so I deleted it afterwards, but you will see this in a bit. The base idea was just to have like a little bit of a extruded piece looking out that looks like hair, that is similar to hair, and then this just doesn't look anything like hair. I don't know how I got to this idea. I guess I just tried it out and then saw that this was not what I wanted. I even tried to improve on the shape a bit by grabbing all the lines and connecting them, but it just is not what I wanted to. I mean, could use this as some kind of weird scale thing, but yeah. So what I did then is I used the extrusion tool. I made a new grid. Used the extrusion tool to give this like detailed spikes, and basically at some point I went to copy paste these and shape them, and this is what I actually went with. It is like the final thing. One side tangent here, I did this because otherwise if I wanted to like do another way of the brows, or how Genesis 2 is doing it, is the brows are drawn onto the face. So they're basically just part of the bump maps and part of the textures, and I'm just not good enough with textures and bump maps. And I think, at least right now, that modeling them in detail like this will take me personally less time than figuring out how to make bump maps, how to make good bump maps, how to work out the whole shebang with textures and materials and stuff. So I decided I'm going to model this. This is probably more excessive on the size of the polygons and stuff, but I think overall this is for me the easier idea. Yeah, and then I did the eyebrows, and this is basically the last part I did. Yeah, I had to figure out a few things, like I checked on Genesis 2 female every now and then to just have an idea of how it actually looks. And then I went to the excruciating detail of actually fitting this to the form, to the shape. And yeah, this is basically the point where I'm currently at. You will see it in a bit. You also saw it on the thumbnail. I will add the current state at the end of the video, but yeah, there is no render yet. There is no real content yet. I'm working on the model, and we'll see how this all turns out. One slight thing is I did the whole shape, as you can see, and when I compared it to an actual human, I saw that I made a few really gross mistakes. Like overall, it looks a bit weird, and it's also on the wrong side of the eye. It's on the inside when it should be on the outside. So I basically just switched side and edited a tiny bit. Interestingly, this worked quite well. I just had to edit a very tiny bit, copy pasted it, and that's where we are right now. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys around.